That's the one I needed right there. Pitched it way back up in there. I mean, just shot it in there, and it just, you know, pretty heavy jig. It just went way in there. And when I set the hook on that fish, I had him. He just didn't even move at all. And I felt him move just one time and came off. So I don't have any idea how big he is. And one thing I mentioned when I opened the show is that I've only been here one time. Well, it just so happened it was about 3 weeks to a month ago, right before all this flooding rain came. And we really caught them good. We weren't filming, we were just gonna see what it was like. And what we noticed is there was a lot of grass. Grass came out to like 10 feet. Well, now there's almost none. And so all we're doing is just trying to refigure it out, And there's not all that much cover here. There's a lot of sticks, briars, there's grapevines hanging in the water, cypress trees, and then there's deep structure. We hadn't tried any of the deep structure yet, but they're biting pretty good in the cover. We talk so much, get in here, dude. Talk so much about current. And you know, there's a lot of current here right now. We've had a lot of flooding, and so this lake's a constant level lake. But what happens is that these fish are not out in the current. A lot of times they'll feed out in the current. It's a good fish right there. A lot of times they'll feed out in the current, but what these fish are doing is they're tucked back in there just a little bit. And a lot of times you can get that bait in there, you can catch one. You know, when I'm flipping heavy cover, a lot of times what I'm looking for is those, you know, those thick little patches or places where there's something, you know, there. Well, what happens is if you flip your bait in there and you don't go over that cover, your bait's gonna basically gradually work itself back to you pretty fast. Even if you hop it one time, it's coming towards you. So a lot of times I'll actually flip my bait over something. It might be over a log. You know, I lost a 5-pounder over a log. We caught a lot of big ones kind of up through those vines. I'm usually always wanting to put it over something so it can stay in the attack strike zone as long as possible. You know, I had 2 different setups that I threw. I actually had a 1/2 ounce Strike King green pumpkin jig, and I had a 3/4 ounce. And the 3/4 one had braid on it because my intention is I'm gonna flip that in the real heavy cover. The 1/2 ounce, I'm gonna fish more of the lighter cover, kind of out around the outside, to get it down there in the roots. That fish, I mean, it's pretty deep right here. It's just on a good stretch of kind of deep cypress trees. I just pitched in there and kind of in that cypress right there, and I mean, as soon as it hit the water, I mean, that fish just started swimming off with it. I just missed one right there. Those power poles are a huge, huge deal. When I drop those down, I'm in shallow enough water where they'll reach. It's about 5-6 foot right here. And they just stop me and they just let me work this really, really well. You can see him right down there. He's on that limb. Can't figure out, there he comes. Not a great big one, but I just like when they bite, I really like to get them in the boat. I'll show you something about this fish right here. Actually, you know, that's his good eye right there. Well, that eye right there, he's actually blind in that eye. Something probably happened to it. Caught when he was little or something. But they can still do really great.